Hi guys, in this episode of HARDHITTING, I'm actually not going to be reacting to something that is K-pop. Instead, I'm going to be reacting to something that is by, I think, Japanese company with, I think, Japanese members, but they were trained in the K-pop style in Korea, and I think it's in English. It's a little bit all over the place. It's kind of reminiscent of what Z-pop Dream, the company, I think that's what the name is, what they did with Z Boys and Z Girls, but I guess more proper and more professional. Even though those were still already professional, but this is like more legit, I guess is another way to put it. And this was actually released quite a while ago, but I kind of overlooked it because it wasn't K-pop, and I don't know, I just didn't really feel like listening to it. Maybe because I was genuinely just literally biased against the name for the group, which is XG. So I thought it was something that had to do something to do with YG, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna involve myself with another YG group that is like a Chinese group or a Japanese spin-off group like what Nijiu is for JYP. But I don't think that's what it is. I still don't really have much information, but I don't think that's what it is. And the biggest reason actually why I've decided to react to this now is because I, few hours ago, reacted to Hype's new girl group Les Seraphim's debut song, Fearless. And afterwards, I read a lot of opinions about it. Apparently, my opinion that it was kind of a lame debut overall, even though the quality of the music video and the girls is pretty high, it was still kind of lame. I saw that a lot of people said that that song sounds like a worse version of XG's Tippy Toes. So I'm now really curious to see whether that's genuinely true or not, and how much better Tippy Toes is. Especially because over the past couple of hours, Le Seraphim's Fearless has actually grown on me a little bit. And that kind of infuriates me. I know I'm a little bit getting a little bit sidetracked, but I just want to talk about it a little bit because I didn't get to in my reaction video for it. But it's really bothering me that it's starting to grow on me because I don't want to like it now. I was open to liking it when I first, right before I started listening to it, but considering what it is, which is the epitome of Hype's music and YG's style of girl group, which is glorified models who may occasionally release music. They very much feel like they're modeled after Blackpink. So that kind of, when I saw that that was truly the case with this group, it really bothered me, and it makes me not want to like them, but I kind of have started to like the song. So if I have started to like that song, I'm really curious to see how I'm gonna feel about this one. So enough with the chit chat and sidetracking, let's just get into Tippy Toes in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, right off the bat, you can feel the same vibe, man.
Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Watch the way we move, the way we rip, the way we glow. They ain't ready for us, we about to rip the game. On the back of us, they follow like a choo-choo train. This reality, yeah, we major league. Everything we do is worthy of a gallery. We the ones put you super quiet about it, show.
And yeah, I honestly already agree. This is such a better execution of that same concept, which is like more low-key and whispery kind of tone. It's so much better.
You ain't seen nothing. Ways I'm on fire. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes.
Yeah. I don't want to bring Seraphim in this because this should be about XG. But one thing I just want to mention is, just like every Hype thing, their take on whatever concept they do is just gonna be the blandest shit ever. Okay, we're definitely gonna have to look up the members and more information about this group in general.
the lead, bringing the heat, head to the sky, eye on the prize, we're on the rise, you ain't seen nothing.
And if nothing else, this is honestly just better lyrics than Fearless.
Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. That's the way it goes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. We about to take flight, up level. When we step on the scene, we super beam. Understand that we didn't come to play, babe. Here to dominate.
Okay, I gotta focus on the music video. I'm reading about the members.
I'ma keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Gonna keep you on your tippy toes.
I'm just really curious to see the ethnicities, I guess, or nationalities of the members, because some of the members don't look East
Be
Asian.
on your tippy toes.
So I'm curious to see. Okay, so before I say anything about the song that I haven't already said, I just want to go quickly through the member profile for this group. So let's go back to the beginning. So it's a 7-member group. Jurin, she's Japanese. She's 2002, so I'm older than her. Chisa, Japanese, 2002, older than her. Hinata, 2002, older than her, Japanese. Harvey, Australian Japanese. Yeah, she's one of the members who definitely looks a little mixed. So I'm definitely older than her. She's also 2002. There's Juria, who is Japanese, 2004. What? Come on, man. She's 18. Don't make me feel old. There's Maya, who's 2005. Are you kidding me? She's 17. And I guess she's also Japanese. There's Kokona, Japanese. I guess all of them are Japanese, but maybe 2 of them might be mixed, I guess then. 2005, she's the youngest. Wait. Oh, so that was Harvey that looked like that in the music video then. I thought there was another one. I guess it's just that one. Cool. Interesting. So, going back to this song in particular. I feel like this song has just much more depth than Le Seraphim's Fearless, you know? It is essentially the same concept executed in 2 kind of different ways. This one is, I feel like a little less polished, but that makes it a little bit more earnest and more entertaining. Because when you have something be rough around the edges, it just makes it more real. It feels more authentic. That is one of my issues with Hype's approach to music in the last 3-4 years. Because they overly polish everything to the point any identity and personality to the songs completely disappears. And yeah, in comparison to this, Le Seraphim's Fearless is sure more polished and debatably catchier, but it's also the worst song because it's so much more shallow, because there's barely any lyrics to it, you know? It's just the same 2 sentences repeated all the time with a bunch of bop, 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 or some shit like that. Some onomatopoeia being repeated constantly as well. Well, this one has actual lyrics, actual substance to it, and actual depth. And I feel like the voices of the members, you actually get... You can hear more interesting vocals, because Hype just loves to hide the vocals of the members with shit ton of autotune, but this group instead, what they've done here is actually give the ability for the member, give the chance to the members to show their full range, and I love that so much more. because again, it makes it feel more authentic and real, and I like that. But yeah, before I say my final thoughts about the song, though, obviously have to listen to it a second time. So without further ado, let's get into it again in 3, 2, 1. You know, it's taken me quite a few years, but I've started to realize what is the difference between the visuals. Well, what's the difference between Japanese people and Korean people and Chinese people visually? I've really learned how to tell that apart. And it's kind of scary that I've actually learned to tell that apart. Also, this song is so much sexier than Fearless.
That's the way it goes, gonna keep you on your tippy toes. Thrift shop, keep your change in a nuisance. Bad gals on the rise, you a nuisance. Drop jars like tongues in a nuisance. Got pushed out a queen, I'm a juices. I speak the flow, then I get your go. Snacking on the world, it's about to give me more. When I don't know it's sober with your silly talk. Here's a tip though, when I take a better gonna keep you on your tippy toes. In the zone, try to stop us when we on the roll. Heard a match, ain't nobody got a energy. Will you pack every part of where it's better me? Ooh, we owning it, coming in boss mode, take control of it.
Man, did I mention that I love their outfits?
Yeah, we gonna for the crown group masterpiece, yeah.
It's hard to bop to a song like this, which is very chill and low energy, but still very hard hitting. Man, I really like this girl's vocals, man. So good. And yeah, this kind of song is not necessarily my kind of thing perfectly, but I definitely appreciate it and I like it. And I just appreciate it so much more because I've seen Les Seraphim's Fearless. Because this is just the objectively better execution of this concept. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know if I really have much to add to what I've already said. I guess I want to talk about a little bit about how you can tell Japanese, Korean, and Chinese people apart a little bit. I might be generalizing a little bit. Maybe I would even end up sounding a little bit racist. But from my experience, Korean people seem to look like, to me, the Koreans are kind of your modern stereotypical East Asian person. Like, if I think of East Asians, I would think of Koreans, essentially. I guess that's what happens when I watch K-pop music videos for 6 years. But that's kind of how I can tell them apart, because they look the most polished and kind of the best looking, honestly, for lack of a better term. They're the most pretty because they, I guess, tend to wear the most makeup and stuff. Then there's the Japanese people who look like more average and more down to earth and less polished. And I honestly kind of like that more because, like I said, it kind of looks more like your typical person and not somebody who is like with shit ton of makeup on their face. And as for Chinese people, I guess they are kind of like the old school stereotypical Asian person with like the racist concept of like the eyes that are far apart and everything like that. Like that's kind of the way you can tell them apart relatively easily. I guess you can tell the Chinese people by their eyes, the Japanese people by their face, and how average it is, kind of. And the Koreans by their prettiness, but they also kind of look the whitest as well, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I'm getting into some racist territory. I don't really want to focus on talking about that, but that's what happens when you haven't slept for what, 14, 15 hours? I think you can tell I'm tired. But yeah, I like the song. I actually will probably end up listening to it quite a lot, because it is a very unique song and it's very catchy still, and it is both kind of something that I like, but also not necessarily something that appeals to me, because I don't really like the more low-key energy kind of songs, but I still think this is a song that appeals to me because it's rap heavy and it's still kind of hard-hitting, despite the fact that it's more chill and quiet. I kind of like it because of that, because it's such a unique song because of that. But yeah, in terms of a rating, I think I'm gonna go with a 9.4 out of 10 with this one, or potentially even 10 out of 10 for this kind of concept, but I feel like there's still some room for development with this, so I think I am gonna stick with a 9.4 out of 10. It's a really good song, although definitely not what I actually thought it was going to be. I thought it was actually going to be kind of like a little bit of a blander, Blackpink-ish girl crush kind of thing. Again, because of the name of the group, I, for whatever reason, assumed that it had some connection with YG Entertainment. So that's kind of where that connection came from, but that's not what it was, so I'm glad about it. So yeah, what did you guys think about this song? Comment your thoughts down below, and let's have a discussion about it. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently one patron on Patreon, Deadpool. Thank you for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me that you have decided to support me, you have continued to support me for such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. Another thing that I also want to tell you guys before we end this video is something about me that some of you may or may not know, that will also explain why do I look and dress the way that I do. That being the fact that I am trans. In particular, I am somewhere between a non-binary person and a trans woman. I'm not quite sure at the moment and probably won't be sure until I talk to a professional who deals with trans people, but that is where the reason why I'm telling you all this comes. I need your help. Due to the fact that I live in a homophobic and transphobic Eastern European country with a family that won't really accept the fact that I'm trans if they found out, there is not really a feasible or easy way for me to transition here with minimal repercussions. So that's why I would really appreciate any kind or any amount of support that you guys can give me with this. That said, I don't want to guilt trip you or anything, so if you don't want to or you don't have the means to help out, that's fine, don't feel bad. I just want you to know that it would be greatly appreciated if you did help me out get out of this situation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thank you for hearing me out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think this is pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!